Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some Ranking of Kings. We're in a brand new season. Adventures are everywhere, and nobody died.
I think we
Right?
made a mistake, Griff.
Oh?
Well, if you're wearing the black shirt and I'm wearing the white shirt, that means I'm the good guy.
I don't think you realize this, but I was the bad guy all along. I'm Chaos Incarnate.
Now, see, Griff. But your role here in this pantomime is to say that putting social norms, like calling black evil and white good, is something that we as a society should probably move past and not
But you see, I have
embrace.
personally chosen my own path. I am a flaming star. I am dancing chaos. I have
So
chosen my own way in this
your
Nietzschean format.
so your path is to conform to the masses and embrace what everybody else is doing. That is your
But
individuality.
nobody else told me to embrace it. I embraced it on my own. Therefore, it is mine.
Is it not something that you were raised with and thus have embraced, possibly not of your own volition, but as a norm everybody else has?
Shush! Don't tell anyone that they're controlled by their environment. They'll go crazy.
Or they'll start you a environment versus, genetics thing. Was I
But yeah.
raised this way, or do I just prefer it due to a certain combination of RNA and DNA?
Well, that's okay. If we're watching Ranking of Kings today, even though I'm evil and chaotic, I'm going to be spared and saved from the afterlife of torment because I said I was sorry once. So we're all
Oh,
good.
I thought you were going to say that you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal savior.
I accept Boji into my heart. Yes,
Well, we already know that the gods in Ranking of King are evil. So,
it's true. It's true. So yeah, nobody died. Everybody is here, and Boji's just going off on his own to do adventures, huh?
are you sure?
I mean, I'm mostly teasing you so that you'll mention it's who actually died.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't really
Which is
remember. Everything here has been
Jetstream
like
Boss, I think.
a refresher for me. Yeah, Boji's mom, Moranjo's mom, a lot of moms.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh,
They died before the story happened, so that's fine.
God, what's the sword trainer guy's name again?
Um, which one?
There's only one.
There's two of them.
No, there's only one.
Nomos is who
Yeah,
you're thinking of then.
Domas's hand died.
We can't count that as a separate entity unless it comes back later as the thing.
That one troll kid died.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty dead. Fair to say, right?
Uh, let's see. Oaken's
Thousands of
dad.
people.
Oaken's dad is dead.
Entire village is dead. There's a lot of dead people in this show, but we had a happy ending for it anyway, right? So,
One assumes.
so I think if we were to describe what we watched previously, it is literally the happiest Game of Thrones, right?
No, God, what did I say when we went into it? Then probably 6 to 7 times after we started. Game of
Is
Thrones, if Miyazaki had made it.
right. There you go. So we have the cute animation, we have a lot of style, and of course we have a lot of individual intrigue and character driving a whole lot of the plot. But most of that is over. Everyone is kind of back to neutral, and the only really big hanging thing is, hey, what are they gonna pull from the vault? And how is that gonna cause everyone a problem?
I do have one hanging concern. Two. I have
Uh-huh.
two hanging concerns
Oh
when it
boy.
comes to this season. One, nobody I know that watches anime has talked about it at all. That's
Oh.
that's a concern. Well, it did show up. The characters showed up in the character rankings for the season,
Yeah.
but I mean that's kind of a given that they're no well-known characters. Nobody I know was talking about the show though. So, good or bad, who knows? I think if it was bad, they'd talk about it too. If they didn't, which might mean we're heading into a mediocre season, and it's
Uh-huh.
a half season at that, which leads into point two. We're getting half the length of a season. or that we got last time,
Yeah.
and I've looked at the episode names only because I had to scroll through it to get there.
Yeah.
And they're doing that thing. Like, what was the show that did it before? Was it Mob Psycho that did a half episode names?
I'm
Or
not sure.
was that Overlord? What show did we do? No, I think it was Spy X Family. Spy X Family did it, where they had half
Oh,
an
right, where they
episode
have A and
name.
Bs.
Yeah, A and B, but they named them in the episode. They don't do A and B as like a one episode plot. You know, like you do with Star Trek, right? Here's our A plot. The Romarians are attacking. And here's our B plot. Deanna Troy's falling in love with the negotiator. You know, that sort of thing. Instead,
Yeah.
here we have plot A, or sorry, not plot A. We have
Episode A and episode B.
we have
tied
story
together.
A, and then we stop that halfway through, and we go to story 2. Well, that's what it looks
Right.
like the episodes are titled.
Right, and I know like there's a lot of other animation that also does the same thing because they have to be within like this certain time bracket. So they're like, all right, instead of like making this one story twice as long as it needs to be, we'll just have two individual stories that are short and concise, which that's fine, right? We can have like good, concise wrap ups to things.
Right,
But
but
I guess that
half
means
a
that this whole thing is
season.
going to be episodic then.
Well, no.
Very.
I mean, no. That's my point, is what I'm reading into would be that, I
Mhm.
don't know. I guess Spike's Family kind of did that. But my worry is that we're just going to get, how many episodes are there in this season? 11?
10.
10. That we're going to get we're going to get 20 half-length episodes of short stories letting us know
Mhm.
what happens to our characters after the show.
Right,
Instead
this
of
is
a
just
season.
entirely the epilogue.
Right. Well, I mean,
Show's over, everyone. Stick around for a moment.
you watched Adventure Time, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming what we're going to walk into, or my concern that we're going to walk into here, is an episode of Graybles. 10
Well,
episodes of Graybles.
Adventure Time also puts it best, I think, which is like, so that's it? The story's over? What happens next? I don't know, I guess they keep adventuring.
Well, you've said that 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
now, and I've not finished Adventure Time, so. Also, Adventure Time isn't over since they're coming out with the Fiona and what's her name? The cat's name.
Cake.
Yeah, Fiona
Fiona and
and
Cake is a
Cake's
new series,
thing,
apparently.
which is confusing to me because Ice King is in there and not the female Ice King that you get from all of Ice King's fanfic, but it's an actual Ice King.
I'm going to have to watch it just to figure out what's going on, but I also hear it's getting really good reviews, so
Oh, it's already out?
yeah, it already is several episodes, apparently.
I will
So,
say I'm glad that Ice King is in it. I haven't seen it either, but I'm glad Ice King is in it because he's my favorite part of Adventure Time, the whole Simon thing.
mhm. Oh gosh, his whole plot's wrapped up too, isn't it?
I
Well,
don't know.
before we start going too deep into another series, watch our Adventure Time playthrough.
Playthrough? Are we playing
Yeah,
the Adventure Time games? If
yeah,
you
I'm
want
pulling out my
us,
controller. I'm gonna start.
if you want us to watch Adventure Time, recommend it to us on any of the places that we say to recommend stuff, and we'll add it to the poll. But you can eventually vote on it with all the other shows that have made their way to the poll.
Yep. So go ahead and put that on the poll. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and comment down below to feed that algorithm. And on top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check us out over on Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below. Join the Discord. It's a more direct way for us to see your recommendations. Well,
I won't call him powerless anymore.
I'm gonna say his courage wouldn't have been tiny.
We're getting maximum bougie this season,
New
huh?
opening.
Oh, yeah. Just
Hater in me is already like not as good as the last one.
5 seconds in, I hate this.
Yeah. Well, You know me, it'll be like episode 9 before I sway myself one way or the other. Oh, the
Who's
drunk.
lurking around?
No, it's the drunk guy. Remember from Kage's episode 2?
Oh gosh, you're right. Oh, deep cut, huh?
Not really. It was a whole episode. Remember that dude dies in a bar fight.
Ah, yes, the whole messed up family. Gotta love them.
Well, as you can tell, I forgot Despa's name and everything. When I said
Yeah.
Oaken's dad instead of Despa's dad or anything. Yeah, no,
I
this
was
is
just
an
wondering.
opening sound that befits Spike's family more than it does this show.
It's really energetic. It's really upbeat. Uh, I don't know if I'm like a huge fan of it yet or anything, but I think it is setting like a fun tone.
Yeah.
If
I liked the seriousness of the last one more.
fair, fair.
弟を代々に王座を奪われ旅に出たボッジは最強の男になるため冥府のデスパーに弟子入
I
りする
just love Boji being pushed
彼
into
の
a
支え
pit.
もあって修行は
I can't get
順
it
調
off.
に進んでいた
You are wearing a black
は
shirt.
ずだったのだが
So these are just going to be stories that happened during the main story then.
Or maybe just going to go visit.
No, they're in the middle of the training arc right now.
Oh,
見てくださいここ
Blemish?
何かついてんのか
シミですよシミこのハンサムな顔に
he's too old.
そんなの誰でもあるだろう
他の人に会っても私にはありません
Ah, he's still so extra.
私にはもうボッジ君に稽古をつけることはできません
えなんでだよ
There's going to be a lot of imagine this shit going on during the real emotional shit that we were getting.
今日は寝ます
Just pouting in bed, of course.
だからそれどころじゃないと言ってるでしょ
It's like he's got a Tempur-Pedic.
こんなんじゃ部屋から一歩も
You can see how the edge of the bed's not folding into his weight, even though it's weighing in down where his head is and everything.
買ってきてやるよ
A man of luxury.
I'm sure he could put a glass of wine on one end of the bed, jump on the other, and not spill any wine. That's for you 90s to
そうかそれだ
bed commercial fans out there.
それですよ
A lot of those.
がありました
ハラハラだけ
とっても美容に効果的なキノコですあれを
Don't,
食べれば
don't step on the glass, man. It's still over there.
I'm anticipating it's already going to be poison and not what he's saying it is.
影くんこれでハラハラだけを買ってきてくだ
Do
さ
you
い
have one gold coin locked away behind 3 different chests?
Chests where you put the keys into different chests. Yeah.
じゃあやりますか
ハラハラだけハラハラだけ一体どこにあんだよおじさんハラハラだけってある
そんな珍しいキノコうちにはないよ
またかああもうなんでどこ行っても手に入らねえんだ
諦めなあれが店に並ぶなんてめったにねえよハラハラだけを取るのはそう簡単じゃねえからな
Ah, this is Kage's training arc now.
この森でハラハラだけは取れるんだ
The Oaken
で
Forest,
もその森には
named after Oaken?
変なやつがいてな
Yes.
こいつに捕まったら最後そう簡単には逃れらんねえ
ぼっちのためだ行くしかねえ
When did he get a spotlight?
気にしないでください日の光はシミを作る原因ですたとえ太陽の見え
So I'm gonna look directly up into it.
油断はできません
捕まったら最
The additional layer of preposterousness just... Of course.
脅かすなよ。
God, it's a deadly rabbit.
Now, is it a giant rabbit or is Kage smaller than I thought?
He's very small.
なんだなんだなんだ
He's got a giant lump on his head. Oh, okay.
It's a mushroom bear.
Well, let's say it's got scales and shit. Both of us totally unconcerned by the grandma aspect. More the Avatar levels of animal combining that are throwing me off. It's a turtle bear.
I'm more surprised that the old woman here managed to get onto the back of a bear.
I mean, you've probably fallen from somewhere.
ありがとね。おかげで助かったよ。
いいってことよ。なあ、ハラハラ岳ってキノコどこに生えているか知らないか？
それは大層なものを探しだ。悪いけどわからないね。
そっか。
あら。
あー、さっき降りちまったんだな。ごめん、俺急ぐから。
あいたたたたたたた。足をくじいちまったみたいだ。いたたたたた。
しょうがねえな。
Ah, when his good nature takes over.
俺はこれで。
Well, it almost sounds like something you'd say to somebody you're about to kill.
こんな足じゃ
No, we can't have that now, can we?
喉も悪いし、ほこりまみれで埋もれて死んでしまうかもしれないね。
Oh, we're getting a level of faking here now.
そうかい。
Yeah, it almost sounds like a grifter.
No, it's just the way any old person will, like, weaponize anytime they feel bad.
うまいもんだね。
Griff is wearing the black shirt today, remember, people.
大したことねえよ。
掃除がこんなに
Griff hates old people.
Old people are also evil.
俺にとっちゃ朝飯前だ。我ながら綺麗にできたぜ。なんで俺こんなことまでやってんだ？
Yes, why are you doing this,
さあ
Kage?
洗濯終わったぜ。俺そろそろキノコ探しに行かないと。
そうかい、じゃあそこまで送るよ。
おい、大丈夫かよ。
情けないね。こんなんじゃ買ってあった苗を植えられない。
Ah, yes, start doing all my farming and gardening too.
あの薪が最後の一本なんだよ。
Kage's Thorfinn arc.
私は凍え死ぬんだろうね。
もうまとめて全部やっといてやるよ。
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? The way, she looks, she might be from that village of people who, did all the terrible things.
Yeah. Can't see her eyes, so they all did that sort of thing too. They had dark eyes. I was going with, maybe she's already dead, and this is like a ghost, like, stay with me sort of situation. And, like, when Kage's actually about to leave, it's just gonna be the mushrooms that he wanted anyway.
薪はたくさん積んどいたぜ。洗濯物も畳んだし。
Being,
これで大丈夫なら。
Despa in, like, the mask actually is really cool.
これをなんとかしてもらいたいんだけど。
さすがにこいつは無理だ。ごめんよ。
そうかい。
じゃ、俺も行くよ。早くハラハラ岳を探しに行かないと。
今からかい？そりゃ無理だね。もう真っ暗だよ。
そんな。
儲けられない。
How does it get dark underground?
儲けるってなんだ。
What? Can you say that again, Griff? Like,
How does it get
think
dark
about it.
underground?
Yeah, think about it for a moment.
そんなことしねえよ。俺は。
Despa was literally complaining about how they don't get sunlight down here.
I don't know, bioluminescence.
じゃあな。ちゃんと安静にしてろよ。
ちょいとお待ち。パイを余分に焼いたんだよ。さ、もっと
There's that whole thing about in a fantasy or a sci-fi, people tend to be unwilling to ask more than one question.
Oh gosh.
You know, like, how does the Enterprise go faster than light? I don't know, crystals. Crystals. Dilithium crystals. Oh yeah, 2 crystals. 2 lithium. That'll do
You
it.
take them and you bash them together.
それが
So you say, how does it get dark underground? I don't know, bioluminescence.
おっかな
You asked no further question, clearly satisfying the issue.
そこで野獣に襲われてるばあさんに会ってさ、家のこと手伝ってたらこんな時間になっちまった。ごめん。
Time to punish you for helping old
これ
women.
預かってた金返すよ。
何やらいい匂いが。
おお、帰りにばあさんがパイを持たせてくれたんだった。
この柔らかく鼻に触れる上質な香り、間違いない。これはハラハラだけのパイじゃないですか。まさかあのおばあさんが人にハラハラだけをくれるなんて。ハラハラだけは収穫するのが危険なので取れる人は限られているんです。
The moral of our story, help old women get rewards.
野獣の背中ですからね。そしてあのおばあさんはハラハラだけを目当てに来た人を捕まえてはこき使うことで有名なんですよ。
そいつに捕まったら最後そう簡単には逃れらんねえ。
そういうことか。
では改めてあなたからこのハラハラだけを買いましょう。
I mean,
いいのか？
だって
it's like a foolhardy gambit, right? What if you just don't give a shit?
おー
I sent Kage out there to get bullied all day.
何か欲しいものがあるのかって？まあな。
ではいただきます。
And now we have mid-rolls.
I was wondering if that was gonna give us like some additional context. Like, no, no, it just isolated.
しかしとにもかくにもデスパーは金にうるさい男だった。
足らない。これじゃ全然足らない。
It's also funny that our stories seem to be staying in the same time period.
二人にお金を稼いできてもらいます。
なんだよ急に。俺たちは
I guess
Also,
this is
we
also
paid
like a
you.
large-
We paid you to be here.
ボッジ君には社会勉強が必要です。立派な王を目指すならなおさらです。
なるほど。
それにあなたたちが用意したお金だけじゃ足りないんです。
You say that up front. You don't say it halfway through training.
足りないんですよ。
Hey, he only counted it now.
結局デスパーさんは金じゃねえか。
That's his fault.
こっち
Can he really be blamed for not doing work? Yes, yes, he can.
That he's ultimately using Boji anyway for the end goal that we already know.
いろいろやってみたい。
That man was a zombie.
でもな、
Zombies gotta get jobs too, you know?
華やか。ぼっち花好きだし、いいんじゃないか。
じゃあこの花を店の中まで運んでもらえるかい？
これ全部？
そうさ、頼んだよ。
よし、ちゃちゃっと終わらせようぜ。
But he's gonna be only able to lift one flower at a time.
It's the size of the rock that he couldn't lift earlier.
おいおい、それっぽっちも持てないのかい？
大丈夫だって、その分俺が働くから。
そんなに時間をかけてちゃ枯れちまうよ。他の仕事を探しておくれ。
他にも仕事は山ほどあるんだ。すぐ見つかるって。
Yeah, what would Boji be good at?
ここならどうだ？
Can't require physical work.
Can't
Lifting.
require communication.
Yeah.
おい、客が呼んでるぞ。
Speaking of which,
聞こえねえのか。おい。
おー、ちょっと待ってくれ。
this is actually the most being deaf has affected him.
Maybe construction? Like rock breaking?
聞こえないんだ。
なんだって？
でも独身
But does he have that power yet?
Maybe not, because he was still testing the rapier strike.
気にすんな。こんなことでめ
What
げないのは
does
俺たちだろ。
Opening Boji have? I don't know, is there a
元
circus?
気出せ。
runs really fast.
Circus, because he could jump walls and run around and dodge shit. So from the very beginning.
Oh, he's going straight to the fight ring now.
This is what I was just talking about, the circus thing. The whole, not getting hit by axes when you're on the rolly thing. See? Same thought.
Literally carnival game, how are you so right? Everyone bully Mochi.
I said, it's the one skill he's had from the beginning of the show. I mean, I appreciate it. They didn't make a new skill for Mochi to suddenly have.
I like that you're just one token human in the whole crowd. Oh no, there's a couple others there.
I didn't see any.
There's another one.
Are you sure that's a human? Or is that just a colored monster that happens to fit a human color?
I don't know. We can also have weird stuff happen to people. This fantasy world is pretty broad in what can happen to humans.
なんだこれうちの全財産私もやる
Just close up shop for the day, man. Just close up shop for the day. And say no.
Look, I'm just saying betting it all in a carnival game is... At least the adults are sensible here.
How does Boji whisper?
Boji will not be able to help himself. Oh, let this be the shortest throw ever. She's trying so hard.
Well, no, shouldn't she have a ton more throws?
I guess the bag was 30 coins.
That looks like a lot more coin than everybody else spent. Kage, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, there's no other way this is going to end, right?
See, Kage calling her dumb just seemed weirdly out of character, versus her mother calling her a silly girl seemed more like people in this world would do. People like Kage and Boji and such.
You can't hate your kid even if your kid kind of messed up.
No, you should have closed up shop when she showed up and left for the day.
Kage may be on point here, actually.
I will be pissed if we end this episode and just don't address the girl anymore.
Guess we're about to be like, let her die. Decrease the surplus population.
私の思惑通りちゃんと社会勉強してきたようですね。まさかお金だけが目当てだったとでも思ってたんですか？
Both of them just immediately nod. Yes, we did.
あとは私に任せなさい。
But we didn't tell you anything about her, or where she lived,
でも
or
なんか
anything.
怪しいぞ。デスパーさんが金にもならないことをそう簡単に引き受けるはずね。
もちろんです。だからこうしませんか。これは未来への投資です。私が彼女に勉強を教え、必要なお金を少しずつ貸しましょう。勉強をし、視野を広げることでお金を稼ぐ知恵が身につく。そして彼女がお金を稼げるようになったら、たんまり返してもらいます。
Yes, indentured servitude. That was the answer all along.
Taking out a loan on a baby.
She'll only have to live for the rest of her life. I mean,
I
that didn't make sense when I said it out loud. She'll only have to live the rest of her life to repay me.
I don't think Des was that cruel at the very least.
I think it's the society, the feudalistic society that they live in right now, which makes it currently okay for him to do such a thing.
He is literally a prince. He can do whatever he wants.
Yes, like put somebody into servitude to pay him back for a debt that they didn't understand that they were getting themselves into at childhood.
I mean, if we just consider that to be the happy and preferable outcome to, like, learning that gambling is how you get money and you should do more of it, yeah, I guess that's good, right?
I mean, more likely her mother died the next month, and she still had to deal with the debt she's incurred to Despa. Because Despa isn't a magic man who can get rid of it. Deadly illnesses.
I mean, it sounded like she just needed some medicine, so who knows, maybe.
Yeah, could be the
It's
rarest
fine.
medicine in the world.
We need to go back for more of those mushrooms, huh?
Or it could be the beginning of the entire story that joins all the arcs together, hopefully, and it's not just a bunch of side stories.
Well,
Continue
today,
to
it's
not
just
have
two side
any.
stories.
Continue to not have any next time ons.
Indeed. I think I'm definitely enjoying the intro more than the outro right now. I think, but I guess, like, the outro here is the coming down vibe, you know?
Well, two things. Well, there's an element of contrarianism that exists within me that I don't know now.
Of course.
If what my true feelings were, because I would have said, right now, and that's why I prefaced it with contrarianism, that I prefer the outro to the intro, because the intro feels like it goes to another show, and the outro at least felt like a Ranking of Kings thing, that it was a smooth, single person's voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really read the, was there any subtitles to the song?
I wasn't paying attention. I was taking in the scenery and music.
Yeah, and I was more considering the dark version of the story that we got told. So, it at least felt more along the lines of, I wouldn't say the outros of the last season, but more closer to the intros of last season.
Mm-hmm.
But it at least feels like it fits the show, more so than the intro did.
Yeah, you have, like, a different vibe of the show, so it makes sense if it's your perception of it. I think right now I'm thinking it's like, how do I feel about these two individual side stories, and we're getting them, like, post the end of season 1? Would these have fit, like, in the middle of the season? Or would this have just, like, really bloated it out?
Bloated. The
absolutely.
problem being is that, okay, this fits to the conversation that we've had before about people saying that we should pause and talk about things as they happen and then not just talk over them as the story's going on.
Uh-huh.
This is that same kind of mentality to it, that stories have a flow, and then you interrupt them, you break the flow.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally watching that the Key and Peele sketch with the Nazis, where the guy is trying to tell a story about Hitler, and there's the dead American on the floor who's not actually dead, he's pretending to be dead, and the Nazi's trying to tell his commanding officer, that guy's not dead, and he's like, do you want to hear this story about Hitler or not? Getting really insulted by the constant interruptions. And he says in the middle of it that stories have a build-up and a flow, and if you constantly interrupt it, you're going to ruin the build-up and thus ruin the story. which is thus what I'm trying to say here,
Mhm.
that if you interrupted the flow of the emotional buildups and the mysteries that were given, like Kage not understanding how Boji's being trained and all that shit, that if you interrupted those with these side stories, which are very much feel more like side stories, if you
Yeah.
inserted them into the chapters of the first season that they happened in, that the flow would just be ruined. You would get this mystery of Kage not understanding how Boji broke a rock and rushing through the house trying to support Boji. He's so dead tired, he falls on top of the thing and he has to cart him back to his room. And then suddenly Boji goes on this mission to help an old lady for an entire day. That would just break that whole emotional train with
Right.
nothing.
We do go over a lot of time during that arc of season 1 very quickly, so there's like definitely a lot of time where stuff could happen, but it's not really important to the rest of the story. Like you said, the pacing of it mattered a whole lot more, and of course getting to like the reason why they're training and the end result of it mattered a lot more at that time. I do like this. Like, it's nice to see like a little bit of additional characterization. It's nice to see like a little concise story about just like Boji and Kage being good boys because, they're just absolutely adorable and it's great to see them. But yeah, I think the critical thing is you're right. The narrative pacing is this would not have fit during the show.
Well,
But
it's
it's
very
nice to see
much
though.
a series of episodes, it feels like, based on this one. A series of episodes for people that wanted more, but weren't able to get a full continuation of story, right? Like,
Yeah.
we told the story we wanted. We don't have plans to show you Daida and Miranjo's marriage, because nothing's going to come from that other than the marriage itself, so why waste a whole season on it? And instead, like, well, I guess we could. I guess we could just put like half an episode, here's the marriage, and then we'll throw another thing on that. And then someone's like, yeah, I think I have like 19 other things we could throw on top of that.
I definitely will say, like, as someone who's tried to like write like stories for people, like reaching the end of a story and then being told, and now you have to continue it. It is impossible if you don't have any idea of what you really want out of it. You need a brand new story. You can't just continue the one you just had.
I mean, that's the entirety of what happened to Dragon Ball after the Cell Socket.
Hmm.
Boo didn't want that. I didn't know. I'm about to say Super. That's not true. I think he came back for Super, but was it G? Not GX. Was it GX?
GT.
GT.
GT is the one he wanted to do, but he didn't want to start Dragon Ball Z.
No, GT was the one he didn't want to do.
I think it's inverse, but we should check our facts on
Well,
that
that's because
eventually.
what you're saying doesn't make sense. He did.
Tell the story.
You're saying he didn't want to do Z, but Z is the direct follow up. Like, it literally starts with like Piccolo and Goku at nearest the age. Well, they're obviously a time
This
skip.
is actually a good point. Dragon Ball ends with the World Tournament, with Goku winning, and like kind of getting like a tacit like defeat of Piccolo Jr. there, right?
Right, and then Dragon Ball Z starts with them nearest to that age, except obviously a time skip has happened because now there's a child, which meant at least a year, yeah. But yeah, if you say he wanted to do GT and not Z, that's an adult Goku with 2 generations of kids beneath him now. So that would be an insane time skip. That makes no sense. And then also again, we know that he wanted to do Z all the way up to Cell. So it's after Cell that he didn't want to do. Boo was not something he wanted, and I don't think I assume GT.
Right, yeah, because that's also a good point. Because Cell was also the wrapping up point of the entire series, and then you gotta continue with some more.
Yeah, so they wrapped him up into GT, which he didn't want to do. I am 85% sure.
Yeah.
And then I think Super is what he did want to do because he came back for that.
Mm-hmm. But I think so coming into this at the very least, I had the idea like maybe we were going to get some episodic adventures of going forward into new places. If it's just kind of episodic but backfill, maybe I'm still getting the same thing.
Well, literally, you wouldn't be, because we wouldn't be going to new places if all we're doing is backfilling the things that we've already been to.
Right, but if I was looking at like, okay, maybe we're just getting a bunch of individual, concise episodes about doing a thing, we see some Boji and Kage being cute, and then the conflict resolves by the end of the episode, doesn't matter where it takes place.
It does to you if, again, you wanted new places, as you just said. If you don't care about that, then no. But unfortunately, you started this by saying, this is what I want, new places.
There you go. So, any final words then before we go ahead and finish this off?
No.
Alright. In that case, let's go ahead and wrap up for the day. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?